Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. I went and bought a camera. I want to start sort of doing these sort of videos, a bit more longer form content on YouTube to sort of share stuff that sort of has happened in the day that I feel for trainers that would add a bit more value. While I do some work, just share my thoughts of stuff I went through for the day and stuff I did with PTs that if you are a PT out there and you're listening, that you may take away and implement it into your world and hopefully see some value and see that work. So I essentially started my day in Sydney today, and one of the main things I was doing today with our new trainers, we had a lot of new trainers start in Driven this year, which is exciting, very exciting. So the majority of them's in Sydney. So what I've been really doing with them to start with is just really focused on lead gen to get them up to speed, get them up to a solid client base where they're happy with. So what we've been doing lately is in one of my catch-ups with a trainer today, we've been struggling to convert clients or members, I should say, off the floor. We've been having the conversations, but we haven't been able to get the member in for a free session, and it pretty much fizzles away from there. So I spent a lot of time going over different tactics and scenarios that we could implement to start getting more clients off the floor. And what I found was the issue was we weren't prescribing or highlighting risk or showing value for the free session. So this is pretty common in all new PTs when they start, is you just sort of go around offering free sessions and complimentary sessions with no real sense of value behind it. When you do talk to members on the floor and you see that they need help and you want to add value to them in that sort of moment, what you need to do is fix one problem. So if you see a member that is doing the lat pull down and they suck at the lat pull down and their technique's not right, and it's just not vibing for them, that's someone you should approach, right? You should approach and firstly just help them and see where the conversation goes. Now, what you need to realize is when you do help them fix their technique on that exercise, that value is very superficial. What you need to think of as a PT is what is that sort of highlighting to you as a problem, right? What muscles are weak, what muscles are overcompensating in that movement, which led to the incorrect technique. Because in my experience, you fix the technique once and then next session they fall back into that bad habit. So think about like a lat pull down is a good example. Are they just not retracting their shoulders back enough to get that full contraction? Are they sort of raising their shoulders and they haven't got that scapular strength to bring it down? This is what you want to offer that free session for. So for example, if I went up to a member on the floor and I offered to fix their technique, cool, happy days. Now, when I offer the free session, I don't want to essentially say, let's do a free session. How's that sound to you? I need to add value behind that. So if I do have that sort of risk examined and I know or have a rough idea of how I'm going to help them in the sense of fixing their scapular retraction, for example, I would say something like that. I'd be like, look, we fixed your technique today. Look, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to take time to practice. But this sort of stems to, I noticed that you got sort of a weak scapula and your muscles can't contract properly. So how about we come do a session on the house and I will show you some exercises to help retract and get those muscles firing, so then you can naturally fall into that positioning on the lat pull down and not have this problem, so you can avoid injuries to the shoulder in the future. So that's what I would say in that circumstance, and there's many ways you can go about it, many ways you can sort of pinpoint and add value. It just depends which route you want to take. But that's one of my favorites, is sort of focusing on the weaker muscles of that movement, which is causing that shoulder positioning in the first place or technique in the first place, and then working towards that and working on fixing that problem in the free session. And then when you do the free session, take them through it. You might discover more movement patterns that are issues and stuff you can help with as well, and you just want to prescribe from that. And what I mean by prescribe is you want to tell them what they need. So if they need to do a session a week with you to really fix that, and you believe that they do need that session and you can help them, then offer that session and tell them like you really think like it's a good idea that you do a session a week so you can work on X, Y, and Z. So you want to make sure you make it clear on what you're going to work on. Like if I just say, oh look, come in and like, I really think we should do a session. We're going to work on fixing that. There's not enough there. Like, you haven't made it super transparent. You come across a little bit salesy. So you want to sort of highlight exactly what you're going to do. So to fix your sort of scapular retraction, we're going to do some sort of strengthen your rear delts and strengthen that through your upper back through sort of rows and exercises that like that. So I want to see how your body works. And if we do a few sessions, I can sort of prescribe what you need to do consistently. How's that sound? So that's the sort of approach I've had a lot of success with when I do get members off the floor. You will notice I used a word session on the house. So when I was talking to my PT about this today, it was a good sort of eye opener. So when you are out on the floor, on the gym floor, it's a very casual setting. So you want to keep that casual sense about your conversation and the way you go into a free session. If you say the words free session, complimentary, anything like that, you come across very it becomes very official. And when it comes official, it becomes salesy. It becomes like you're trying to help them for your own benefit of them becoming your client and giving you money. So what I like to say is to keep it casual is when I'm asking them for like what we should do in terms of times and stuff like that. I'd just ask them if they train at this time every day. Like, do you train at this time every day? If they say yes, cool. Like, come in tomorrow and I just want to show you a thing or two to really help and fix X, Y, and Z by doing X, Y, and Z on the house, session on the house. All right, how's that sound? Yeah, cool, I'll come in. So that's what I like to say, it's on the house. It indicates and prefaces that it's a free session, but casual, all right? And you keep that casual setting that makes it feel a lot more comfortable and makes you come across as very helping and caring about their actual goals and well-being. So yeah, just a bit on the floor walks today and teaching the PTs on how to sort of successfully do that. While I'm on this topic, probably good for you guys to know if you are new to PTing and getting out on the floor and sort of getting members off the floor is going to be your greatest asset once you learn to do it properly. Like, if you look into a busy gym, it's like, there would be, when I was there today, it was like 11 a.m. and we were looking around and there was at least 5 people at that time that visually needed a PT. So yeah, definitely like learn this skill, and it is quite scary at first. Like when I did this at first, I remember I was shitting bricks and I was nervous as the first time I did this. My manager at the time sort of made me go out on the floor and he asked me to talk to free members and find out what they train, what they do for work, and if I can help them. So essentially, I remember I did this and I was like, full shit and bricks. Like, I was like, I can't do this. And then I went up to the first person after pondering around. And I had that conversation, asked them what they did for work. My voice was very shaky, but the conversation flowed and the dude was jacked, right? So I started with compliment. I was just like, dude, muscles are huge. What are you doing? What do you do to get it here? Like, how much you bench? Just having a full bro talk. And that sort of broke the ice and allowed that conversation. So after doing that and speaking to him, I got a lot more confident, and then I went up and spoke to the next person and the next person, and I ended up booking someone in from that. I didn't get the first 2, but I got the last one. So conversations and opportunity happen heaps, but you just need to be there for those opportunities to happen. So being present in the club and just practicing is going to help heap. If you talk to 10 people and you get 1 of them, that's 1 you wouldn't have got. But also keep in mind that the 10 people you speak to are going to vouch for you. They're going to give you credibility in the gym. They're going to give you a sense of community in the gym. Like, if you're in a consultation with a client who's brought a PT back or doing a free session with you, and then 10 people walk past and be like, hey Drew, like, how you doing? The client thinks like I'm a celebrity. In that sense, you become the authority in the area, and people that like your client you're with trying to sell PT is going to have a lot more trust and faith in you purely from that. So keep in mind that yes, the purpose is to get clients, but if you don't get a client, it's still a good thing. So spend time in the gym, compliment as much as you can, and that will go a long way to seeing success off the floor. And then it's just trial and error. Everyone's different. Your approach will be different to the way I approach. We have our pillars. Try this, try that, see if it works. If it does work, cool. If you tweak it a little bit to fit your personality and what works over time for you, amazing. You just need to get out there and talk to people. When I started PT at any time, I had a rule that I had to talk to 10 people every hour for the whole time I was there, and I was there for about 10 hours a day. That was my rule, and initially I sucked at it. so much, but I became very popular in the gym, not from clients, I had no clients, but I became very popular just from the sense I spoke to everyone, which made me feel very comfortable, especially as an introverted sort of person. It made me feel very, very comfortable in the gym I was PTing at, that I was very confident in approaching someone I saw in the gym that needed PT. First and foremost, get comfortable in the gym, get that confidence throughout you just by talking to people and talking to members. And when you see someone that needs PT, go up, compliment them, ask them if you can show them what's worked for you for this exercise. Instead of telling them what they're doing wrong, just tell them and show them an alternative to what they're doing and ask them if it feels better. And then highlight the problem. So highlight the risk, highlight the problem involved, and hopefully get them in and sign them as a client. If you do have any questions about sort of floor walks and a bit more detail, let me know below in the comments. I'm going to be doing more of these, sort of just recap my day on a weekly basis after my one-on-one heavy catch-up day. I'm just going to pick out sort of one of the catch-ups I did with the most relevance that I feel like you guys would appreciate. And yeah, but if there's anything you sort of want me to go over, let me know. I want to keep to this longer format as well on YouTube to share more and more knowledge for those new PTs coming through the ranks. And as always, keep striving.